Hi, my name is Maria. In the United States, 30 people die every day due to alcohol-related motor vehicle crashes. This is about one death every 48 minutes. On May 14th, 1988, what is known as the nation's worst ever drunk driving crash claimed 27 lives, mostly children. Lee was that he had lost his wife and two daughters. He states, I'd lost all of them, and words can't even begin to describe the loneliness, hurt, and complete emptiness that I felt. Williams is one of many who had to move on in his life, alone and depressed. Harold Dennis, a 14-year-old boy at the time, was on that horrible bus ride. He found his he was pulled out by someone through a window. He survived this tragedy but was burnt over 20% of his body. Larry Mahoney was the driver of that vehicle that struck the bus. He was sentenced 17 years in prison for drunk driving and killing 27 people. But however, he was only 10 years. How is that possible? He was released for good behavior. As a daughter of a drunk driver, I take a strong stance on drunk driving. Those who are caught driving under the influence should not be allowed to have a license for at least 1 year. Regular drinking helps the body to tolerate more alcohol, and as sensitivity builds up in one's body, they will need to consume more alcohol to obtain the same effect. Depending on a person's body size, it will require different amounts of alcohol to reach sobriety. The larger the body, the more alcohol will need to be consumed to reach that state. Alcohol has an effect on one's reasoning. It makes you dizzy, have slurred speech, nauseated. It also impairs your vision, judgment, and the coordination needed to drive a car safely. Some people feel that the current laws that we have today are strict enough. And currently, in California, the courts are given lots of room in sentencing DUI offenders. It ranges anywhere from 48-hour hold probation months of a suspended license. The courts only increase the sentencing when other factors are found in conjunction with the use of alcohol. For example, repeated DUI offenders, whether they had to have a repeated DUI offender driving under the influence with a minor in the car, or have had an accident while driving intoxicated or drug use. These laws, coupled with leniency, have not helped the 1.4 million drivers who are arrested for driving under the influence, or the 10,228 people who have been killed in 2010 by an alcohol-impaired person. They do not help the 210 children who died in 2010 or their families. Therefore, we must change these current laws, and we must make them stricter. Changing our laws to a stricter penalty on first-time offenders would help these statistics. According to a study done by MAD, Mothers Against Drunk Drivers, 1 in 3 Americans will be in an accident involving a drunk driver during their lifetime. Something needs to be done to address this matter, considering the frequency of these accidents, the fatality of many of these accidents, and the accessibility of alcohol in today's culture. An increase of punishment of a 1-year suspension of their license for the first-time offenders would be effective. According to MAD, they state, first-time offenders are on the road anywhere from 88 to 500 times before they are even caught in the act of drunk driving. They would rather take the risk of getting caught because the chances of them getting arrested are close to none. If getting apprehended for drunk driving at any age or at any time would automatically suspend your license, this would outweigh that risk. Therefore, more drunk driving would not take place. They would seek other means of transportation. I know for myself that when I was a young girl and my father would take us to a family party and get intoxicated, he would pile all six kids back into the car and drive us back home. I can remember him swerving on the road and almost hitting the walls as we drove by them. I often didn't think that we would make it home safely, but thanks to heavenly intervention, we always made it home. I am one of the fortunate who lived, but Lee Williams will suffer the devastation of losing his wife and his two children. I will never have to look in the mirror like Harold Dennis, who will be reminded of it every day when he sees his reflection of his scarred face. I could have been one of those statistics. I am passionate that if you choose to drink and drive, you deserve to suffer the consequences of losing the privilege to drive forever. Thank you.